Hi everyone, welcome to the revision topic on external financial reporting decision. It's actually formed out of the part one of section A. Practically speaking, it's 15%, one of the lengthiest topic while comparing to others. Example, if you take the section B, it's kind of a little bit smaller, but weightage is also a little bit higher. So this topic is completely more or less theory. There won't be any sums. If you are practically asking, there is no such thing called practically when you are learning. Unless otherwise you practically apply it in your real life, you can't call it as practical. Example, I'm reading gym book, how to work out everything. But I did theory as the same, whatever you're doing the same. Unless otherwise I step into the gym and do the workout, it can't count as a practical. So whatever you are learning is theoretical, but you can apply it in real life. Example, you took an annual report on a company and you read everything and you are applying the knowledge practically. So, whatever you're doing right now is theoretical. Practically speaking, you are learning. Okay. Anyway, all the best for your exams. One of the best advice I can give is relax. Even if you think like I have only 1.5 hours, I didn't do a done lot of questions. Don't think about that. Like, don't think about anything other than success in the exam hall. That's what I'm trying to say. Hypothetically, if you are left with 1 hour but you didn't complete much of the MCQs, don't get panic. Take a deep breath, relax, have a sip of water. Don't drink too much because you don't have any break on the exam hall. Anyway, before doing anything, let me explain about few things about the exams. Anyway, when you are having only less time and more MCQs, don't get panic. Relax. If you get panicked, damn sure you won't remember anything. Even if you think to remember something, you can't. Example, if you ask something very simple, if I'm on panic, example, what's the name? I'll take a lot of time to remember. So everyone has the same problem. So don't get panic. Relax. Drink water. Relax. Close your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds. Take a breath. Relax. So that's the best advice I can give when you stuck in the exam hall. Maybe when you stuck in the exam hall, the Harry will come. Don't worry. Okay. Just think if you are stuck with something, remember me. Oh, that one person said no. Close my eyes, take a deep breath, relax. Damn sure I read everything, so I can remember. So do the sums. So no one said you can solve 100 MCQs within 1 hour. They certain small criteria within 3 hours you need to solve 100 MCQs. You know about the exam pattern, I think so. 100 MCQs, and we don't know the weightage for 3 hours. The two most important is you need to score at least 50% or above to get into the next 1 hour. So you can write the essay. Maybe it will be stopped in the menu or case study based questions. Case study based questions will be there as the case may be. So unless otherwise you make the 50% or above in the MCQs, you can't do it. Some of them, my friend wrote everything. After 3 hours, the essay didn't open. Not true. I wrote less, but I got. Just took an example as a fictitious friend. So many of them might have done this. So don't get panic. One of the best advice is relax. That's the only thing I can explain it to. And one of the most important thing, other than you, no one can, practically speak, no one can get succeeded in exam. So keep it in your mind and relax and solve the MCQs. Damn sure you can solve it. It's not much complicated. There are complicated questions, but not 100 questions are complicated. There might be around, maybe if you ask me 20 to 30 or 35 questions, maybe hard, maybe have difficulties. Anyway, you can solve remaining questions, provided you are steady. Don't ask me, bro, I went to exam as you said. Yeah, did you read? I never ever opened the book, so don't ever make those things. Okay, just jokes about. Anyway, the exams will be for 4 hours and no break. Okay, don't expect there will be break because it's an MCQ based exam. If I give break, what will you do? You will Google it. Okay, there is one thing. There is no scheduled break, but you can take a break. Provided in that break also you are not allowed to open your locker, or you can't use your phone, or you can't use the book. If you access anything, that's it. They won't allow to write you the exam. So make sure about it. And one more thing, calculator. Make sure it's new or with a new battery. Okay, or new calculator. If you ask me, get a new calculator. Simple basic one is enough for if you are good with, or if you are good with the financial calculators, read the handbook, or if you are using something which you have question, have the handbook, check is that okay available. If it's have multiple things like this, basic is far enough. The memory functions, like sometimes few calculators have some memory functions, different memory functions. It stores equations, formulas like that. Okay, even basic calculator has a memory plus memory minus MRC are there, so don't worry about it. So basics is allowed. Read the handbook and take a look at LOS or content specification outlines and the handbook. These three are very important because other than three, they're providing only one more thing, which is known as support package. It will be available only if you make the payment for your exams. It will be available in your portal. For 3 times you can download for a specific period of time only. So when you applied, make sure you download the recent one. Yeah, when you are applied for that exam, you will get the recent one only. So that's the reason I'm saying. Because for a few of them, case study based MCQs, I mean, case study based questions will be there in the support package. For a few essays. Practically, I think June 2026 for them, it's essay if I'm not wrong. Anyway, take a look at in the handbook. You'll get an idea. Okay, if you ask 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 100 MCQs, if you ask me, fix 30 to 40 now. For last, balancing figure like an equity. Okay. First, try to solve small questions. This is very important because you will be much more energetic. So that's the reason. Anyway, if you think something very lengthy questions, example, it's lengthy. There is something called flag. Flag it. Read it afterwards. Solve it afterwards. Maybe take it in the second round. First round, try to solve it 40 questions or 30 questions. If you look at 30, I'm sure you will solve 90 questions. Three questions. I'm sure you will solve it. Just explaining how it works. So that's the reason. So I'm explaining 40 means it will have less burden for the next 2 hours. So that's the thing. So make sure about it. Anyway, flag the questions. If you think sometimes you can solve it, read the last line first. What they are asking. What they are expecting. Example, I had a question. Same lengthy way. They asked what is current asset. But I read everything. Entire balance sheet. It have a lot of line items. But they asked what is current assets. Do I need to read everything? No. I need to read only the current asset portion. That's it. Yeah, there is a question which I solved and I don't know where and I didn't know where it is. Anyway, that's the reason what they are expecting. Make sure about it. Practice. Then, if you think A is not the answer, there is option. Like you can strike it off. Why? Do it. Then there is something called highlighting option, which you will know about in the 15 minutes. But anyway, there is an demo. Like you can give the demo exam in the portal. I mean, before exam, you can give a try. There's a tester. Google it or look it in the YouTube. It's in the IMA portal too. So take a look. Have a experience about how it will works, how the functions are there, the flag options, and there is something called attempted and unattempted questions are there. Like there will be grid. It will form a grid or matrix like structure. So if you think you can solve it, if you ask me, solve first question, then scroll it to the 100. What to do? Look into the question, read it. Side, keep the arrow, scroll it down. Why? After solving the question, go and click the 100 question and solve the question. Why? Just solve the last 10 question and come back to the second question. It will help you to have something better. Maybe if you are trying to do some mock, give a try. If you like it, then do it in the exam. Unless otherwise you put it in action, you can't understand what I'm trying to say. So that's the reason. So try to do it. And if possible, I will give some tips and tricks. Anyway, the calculator I said, exams and breaks, and yeah, make sure you are there and wear a comfy cloth. You need to sit for 4 hours. So make sure you are wearing a simple cloth. Don't have something tight. If you are having cold or something, wear shorter. No issues. And they will check you. There are some metal detector or something, the thing. And if you are wearing glasses, they will check the glasses too. So that's the reason. Make sure you cut the nails to why you need to type for the essays or you need to do something for the case study based questions. And you need to use the mouse also. Anyway, make sure about those things. Don't ask anyone what to do. Why sometimes typing the it may have some disturbance. That's the reason I'm saying. Do I need to get something separate for the typing? No need. If you have time, if you are have luxury of time, you can do it. If not, no issues. Just type simply. That's far enough. Half an hour for one question, half an hour for another question. Essay or case study, whatever the case may be. I don't know how it's the case study based question. Anyway, I just taken look on it, but I didn't solve anything. That way I'm trying to say. That's it. I think I explained about the exams. Anyway, you can carry a water bottle, the transparent one. Make sure you don't drink too much because if you drink too much, you need to go to the break. If you take a break, it will take 10 minutes. So it will damn sure you need to lose 8 questions or 10 questions MCQ time. So that's the reason. And don't say like they won't allow or they will allow. But this is the thing you need to pay for it. So as I said, eat something very good. Before going to the exam, I'll use the washroom. Face wash, use the wash your face and relax, calm down and go to the exam hall. As I said, wear a comfy clothes. Don't have some tight jeans and everything. I hope this is far enough for your exam day preparation. If you are having any medical emergency, something like have it carried with you. Don't they are not allowing anything into the exam hall, but you can give it in the outside. They will keep it. If you raise the hand, they will bring it to you. Obviously, someone will come. They will ask what you want. You say they will bring it to you, or something will happen. So anyway, even I had my medicines, but I didn't use it. But anyway, I carried for each and every exams. Okay. Yeah, I wrote FMA and CMA part one and part two. Yeah, I made some plans and cleared it September, October attempt. So that's what happened for me. Yeah, small planning. Anyway, I didn't score much. Yeah, what you scored, pass. That's it. Okay, anyway, that's what happened for me. That's the reason I always plan accordingly. I will contingency plan, backup plan, everything. Even I carried three calculators, one new of the one which and one very basic. 100 rupees or 200 rupees. That's the worth of that calculator. Anyway, why? If they said you can't use both, what to do? That's the reason. Even while carrying, also I put it the calculator in safe way. Why? I'm traveling. What if it broke? Okay, I don't want these silly reasons on that exam day, so I'm well prepared for it. Example: if you are in the war, think in this way. How will you prepare? If possible, you will buy the Iron Man suit also. So like that, prepare very well. Don't tell silly reasons. I think that's far enough. If you have exam in the morning, if possible, go and stay nearby hotels or something. Like for me, I had an exam in the Bangalore. So practice speaking, it will take 2 to 3 hours for me to reach the exam hall from my location. So what I done, I booked in hotel. Damn sure it costly. So I stayed in it's a three-star hotel if I'm not wrong. So it's a little bit costly for three of them. So I stayed there. And next day, early morning, I went there. It's hardly 2 to 1 kilometer. Even if cab not available, I will walk. That's how I planned it. So that's the reason I'm saying if it's early morning, if not possible for you to make it travel, because after travel you will be feeling tired. That's the reason I'm saying like if possible, stay in nearby hotels or something. Don't think about the cost. I will stay in a cheap hotel. What if something happens? Bed bugs. Yeah, that's the reason. Make sure it's an clean and ethnic, or stay in your relatives if they are nearby. Okay, these are the best advice I can give you for the exams. Not about the topics or concepts. Anyway, before the exams, these things, make sure about it. Relax. If you get panic, that's it. As I said, if I get panic, I can't even remember my name. Someone asks, what's your name? If I'm in panic, I will be like fumbling upon something. So that's the reason. Relax, relax, relax. The success is on the way. It's about how you tackle that 4 hours. Okay. Maybe if you are a cool guy, but if you done, become nervous in the exam, that's it. So that's the reason. Be cool in the exam hall. That's what they're expecting, like an interview. They won't ask you anything for new. They will test you how you handle the interview. At the same 4 hours, how you are handling. Okay, relax. That's it. Anyway, before this, I want to So now do something first. Read the book. Next, watch the video. This video. Next, read the book. Next, solve the MCQs. If you have some other videos also, you can watch it. It's not a big deal. Then read the book. The burger planning. Yeah, the bun, the thing, everything. Why? First, you may understand one topic, you may not understand three more topics. Okay. For example, while explaining, I explained everything. Maybe I ignored this topic. When you read it, you will get a lot of clarity and you will understand this topic. When you solve the MCQ, you will know, oh, okay, these type of questions are possible, how the questions are drafted. Then once again, if you read, okay, these type of questions also I can draft. Okay, based upon this knowledge, if you read the book, okay, they asked something like this on current asset. They can ask the same question from the point of view of current liabilities. They asked something from the point of view of direct users. You can think about the question may be possible in the indirect user or internal or external users also. So it will help you to enhance your memory, like I mean the brain thinking. So that's what. And one more thing, very important, which is expected by the institute, not by me. Anyway, I'm also expecting understanding. Understand the questions, topics, concept. Next, something called in-depth thinking. Next, problem solving skill. As I said, how use, like for example, in the 4 hours, how you use the 4 hours to your advantage. So that's the reason. And how you apply it in the real life. Think in this way. I taught you 1 plus 1, 2. Don't expect same question will come. They may ask 11 plus 11, 22. They are not asking about 1 plus 1, 2 is not the thing. They are asking about the addition. Okay, think in this way. They may ask about minor divisions or subtraction or multiplication. How it works. You need to learn the basics. That's what you need to learn. Whatever I'm trying to explain, I will be trying to explain in a different way as much as possible. Example, think in this way. I'm a user. I need to make a decision. So what kind of decision you are planning to take? Think in this way. Do I need to buy? Or do I need to sell? Or do I need to hold? Or do I need to hold? What to hold? Think in this way. Do I need to hold the debt? Or do I need to equity? Same buying days, buying and selling, same thing. How? Example, balance sheet. Hypothetically. Think in this way. I have the property, plant and equipment 200 and current asset 500. And what's the share capital? Take it maybe like 300. Current liability 400. Okay, think in this way. Okay, it can the 100 is sufficient. Okay, but what about this? Am I generating lot or not? Think in this way. Hypothetically, the current asset is like 1,000. The current liability is 300. Okay, property, plant, and equipment I needed up. Okay, make it as 800. Make it as 100. Think in this way. 700 simply sitting in the current asset. Maybe think in this way. It's a cash. I mean, so I can invest in the fixed asset. The company is not utilizing the fund perfectly. So in that situation, I will think, do I need to buy or do I need to sell or do I need to hold it? Do nothing. I will hold it. Stably, I will hold it. Okay, my money is safe or not. Okay, as an investor, whatever. For example, as a equity holder, what I expect? I will expect two things. What? The market price of the share. Example, I invested $10. It became 100. Great. I will think, do I need to buy more? Do I need to sell? Am I making $90 profit? No. Then one more thing, dividend. Okay, think in this way. Market price is $10 only, but they are paying me $90 as dividend. So right now, do I need to buy more? Do I need to sell more? So right now you have to think in this way. At the same, if you go for the debt, you have to think about two things. One is the principal payments. Next one, the interest. Am I getting the interest and am I getting the principal? Think in this, I'm a bank. Okay, that's all. So you have to think about the amount, timing, and uncertainties. A lot of things are there. So you have to put together in this way. So how you make the decisions. That's the thing. When you how you understand something, how you think about the same thing in a different way. If you look into this thing, compare it to the BCG matrix. There will be something called cash cow. Everything will be there. There's something called build, harvest, and divest. And one more thing I forgot. Okay, no issues. Example simple. They build. I will buy more. I will sell. I will diverse. I will sell. Harvest means I will okay. I will sell and get the money. Diverse means I will get the money and I will invest in somewhere else. Example, think in this way. Uh, they are planning to issue new shares. Or they are issuing 10% debentures. I'm holding equity. Okay, damn sure it is fixed. Guarantee. So I will jump into the debt. I mean debentures. Yeah, debt. Okay. So like that. Build or harvest or divest. Yeah, the fourth one I forgot. Build, harvest, divest, and then. Okay, no issues. When we are looking into the BCG matrix, if I take the topic, I'm planning to complete right now the financial statements. I'm not giving any confident, I mean, guaranteed for the remaining topics. Okay, this is about exams and everything. As I said, if it's possible, make sure you carry everything perfectly, calm, relax. You are allowed the person and the proof, calculator, and water bottle. These are the four things allowed. The medicine not allowed, but you can give it to the person outside the thing. That's it. You calm, relax, wear comfy clothes. As I said, I wear a t-shirt which is very, very baggy, and wear a pant which is also very baggy, and the it's kind of not like a tight jeans. And the phones, digital watches, and even the watches also not allowed. So they will scan you and let you know. If possible, don't wear any chains or some things for best things. Chains or rings. You know about the technologies nowadays. So that's the reason they make checks and everything. Make sure you carry something. Water bottle, as I said, take water. Don't take anything, something. I will take electrol, glucose. Don't. If you are planning, take two bottles, one with glucose, one with non-glucose. Why? If they allow the glucose bottle, take it. If not, throw it away. They will ask you to sign and write it something in your log sheet, and they will ask you a few questions. They will scan you and check you, and they will check in your packets also, and make sure that your dress doesn't have any buttons, the metallic buttons. If I'm not wrong, they use some metal detector or something to scan you. Okay, that's the reason why. Don't get panic. That's the reason. Okay, in exam hall, you will get 15 minutes for how to do blah 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 things. For that, Google it or use YouTube. There is a demo thing. The highlighting and the striking off will be there. Best and how the things works, the features. Okay, even you can learn within the 15 minutes. There is a timing will be there. Okay, there won't be clock, but the clock will be running in the reverse. For example, it will start in 4 hours or something like that. No, no, 3 hours. It will come to 0.2 to 2, something like that will be remaining time only will know. Okay, that's the reason. There is something called finish test. Don't ever click that button. That's it. If you click it, that's it. Bye bye. Finished. So that's it. So make sure about it. If you have any questions about anything, raise your hand. Someone will come and help you. You will get two papers, the scrap papers or rough papers. You will can scribble, solve everything in the paper. That's it. Yeah, you can get new scrap papers. You will get two pencils. You can exchange the pencils also, no issues. Anyway, the sharpeners are not allowed. They will give you the pencil and everything. So that's it about the exam hall and everything. Even I explained about few topics about the balance sheet, how the decisions are made. This is simple, but it's very important. Do I need to hold or buy or sell? As I said, the BCG matrix. Okay, let's go for the topic of the financial statement. That's the first thing which I'm planning to explain to you. Okay. Okay, the balance sheet, which is nothing but an 1 second. Let me take it and then okay, there are three like four things. One is balance sheet, income statement, and the statement of owner's equity and the notes to financial statement and statement of cash flows. These are the four things which you can call it as the financial statement, but notes to financial statement is not the form part of the financial statement. Who said? FSB said. Who is FSB? The one who gives you the rules and regulations. Example, the GAAP, generally accepted accounting principle. For US, we have US GAAP. For India or other countries, there is something called IFRS. Okay, anyway, I will explain it, the IFRS stuff once again. Okay, this is the topic. I mean, the IFR versus gap. If you take the IFRS, it is based on the principles. If you take US gap, it's rule based. Okay, what is principle based? It's open and flexible. It allows the user to take the decision. Heavily on interpretation, how you interpret something, and then what about the rule based? It's strongly regulatory. Do what I say. Extensive interpretive guidance. There will be guidance. Something called accounting standard code. If you read it, you will get an idea what to do, what not to do. Set of books. Very easy because, for example, you do audit, I do audit. You prepare books of accounts, I do books of accounts. They are saying do what I say means we both will prepare same way. But when it comes to IFRS, one will say one way opinion, one other one say different opinion. Example, measurement. One more thing, the it is like IFRS global adoption. Many countries are adopting, but US GAAP primarily used in the US markets. So not outside the US, there is no one using. Example, if you take IFRS, the LIFO is not allowed, but it is all allowed. For example, impairment reversal. Impairment reversal. Anyway, in depth, we will be looking into each and topics, and I'm planning to make it as a single topic. I mean, at the end of the day, I will say what is what, blah 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 blah. Like example, as per inventories, LIFO is not allowed by IFRS. Why? In MCQs, they may ask you a question. The company prepared the books of account using LIFO. They won't say it's based on IFRS. You should know that it's not applicable as per IFRS. They may not ask you the question on IFRS specifically. Generally, there is nothing mentioned. It's the question is based on the US GAAP only. Unless otherwise they say it's on IFRS, you need to use IFRS. They won't ask questions. But anyway, as I said, prepare dangerously. Expect the unexpected. Let's all agree for disagree. Okay, like that. For example, impairment. What about impairment? I'm not about talking about. I'm talking about reversal. It's allowed. It won't allow. Rules. Follow it. Here they will say, I am impaired, but right now, based on my interpretation, I can reverse it. But here say, you done reverse impairment, no, don't do anything further. That's it. Like that. For me, yeah, I done impairment, no, I won't do anything extra. Okay. Anyway, like jokes about like they think in this way. Like for example, I'm driving a bike. Okay, I'm driving a car in a 20 kilometer zone. 80 kilometer speed I'm driving. Okay, the police caught me. And I said, I need to go to hospital. No, you go to jail as per US law. Okay, no. There is a person who is behind the back. He need to go to the hospital. He's dying. So that's the reason I'm going on 80. So okay, no problem. Deliver him in the hospital. I will deliver you in the jail. Okay, the judge will be thinking this guy IFRS interpretation. The police followed the rules. Right now for IFRS, the judge. Okay, after thinking the circumstance, okay, he trying to save a person. So no need to put him in the jail or something. Like he say, okay, go, no worry. You are not subject to any punishment. So like that. Heavily on interpretation. If someone like they say, a rule says no, 2080, why are you going? No, they won't ask any question, go to jail. Okay. For better understanding, I'm picking this example. Okay, that's the thing. Don't think, it's possible, huh? Okay. Okay, I hope you understand the IFRS and US GAAP. Anyway, for each and every topics, there are some difference, but majorly everything will be same. Major, not 100%. Major, example 80 to 90% will be same. Similar. Okay, for right now, let me complete the statement of cash flow. What is it? There is something called operating activity, and there is something called investing activity, and there is something called financing activity. Practically speaking, you should know how to prepare the cash flow statement. Why? If you know how to prepare the cash flow statement, you can use it for analyzing. And more or less, you know about this. There is something called direct method is there, indirect method is there, but both are almost similar. I will explain it. That's very important. Why cash flow statement? Example, take it in a sales. 100 million. Wow. What about purchase? Okay, everything. Thinking this all expenses, I hypothetically thinking is 10 million. I don't have any expenses. Hypothetically, I purchased for 10 million, sold for think of the profit. You can take it as net income 90 million. Will you invest? Yeah, damn sure. If you ask a financial analyst, just a general user, if you look into the statements, you will think, okay, that's correct. But when you look into these things, the cash flow statement, if you look, it is there is no cash. Why? Because it's a credit sale. They never mentioned it's a credit sale. So unless otherwise there is realization of cash from the operations. Example, if you look into the operations, it will be in negative only, minus 10 mm, minus something. Just for your understanding. So right now, will you invest in this company? No. Why? The most important thing for the financial analyst or anyone who are investing, the cash flow statement is very, very, very important. So make sure you learn about it. Don't make any exceptions. Yeah, there is IFRS stuffs also there. I will let you know why you are saying. Like example, they may give something as per IFRS. Example, the cash flow statement is prepared as per IFRS. And they will give few things. On those few things, there are two line items which will be included as per IFRS, which shouldn't be included as per US GAAP. So you need to make sure which one is which one. So to make the things. For example, lease also there is some difference. For as I said, LIFO is prohibited by IFRS. So like that, we will be looking into it. That's the reason I completed statement of cash flow statement. Anyway, I will be diving in depth into the topic. For right now, I'm saying these are the things like a revision, like a recap. Okay, why the cash flow statement is important? I created a dummy example and shown you something. Yeah, if I need to explain everything, it will take time for the statement of cash flow right now. Anyway, I am going to explain it full-fledged. Okay. Next statement of owner's equity. So what is that? And there is one more thing is there. There is something called accounting standard code given by 230. For what? For preparing, presenting, everything. If you look into this, you will understand how to prepare the statement of cash flow. Is this important for exam? I have no idea. They may ask, they may not ask. They never said I will ask or I won't ask. So anyway, for your guidance, I'm kind of mentioning it wherever possible. If I missed or forgot, just look into it. I don't think so. They will ask, but even if they ask, so I think you can easily say that's the reason I'm mentioning it. 235 for this. That to notes to financial, not for the statement of owner's equity. The accounting standard code 235. Okay, what is this? Simple. You need to understand the format. There will be something called opening balance, which is on 31st December of 20 something. Then you will get a net income, current year net income. So add it. Then preference dividend, common stock, you know about the thing like capitals. I mean, okay, I will show you that. This thing declared. Practically speaking, it will go for the return earning. It will minus. Then I made an issue. Common stock. Add it. Then other comprehensive item. Something is there. Add or minus depending upon the situation. So I can't assure you what will happen depending upon the line item. So if something is there, you need to add it or less. So what will you get? The closing balance as on 31st 12 26. Next, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, anything for a year. This is what. Why should you remember? There is a possibility they may ask a simple question. They will give the statement. Example, they will give the closing balance, opening balance, everything. They won't give the net income. Why? Example, in this question, you need net income for the operating activity. They won't give. The question, if you read it very simple, if you add three line items and minus two line items, you know about it. But you don't know the income, net income. What will this is how they will interlink the question. What? You have to understand. That's the reason I said you have to understand and you need to utilize everything to your advantage. The problem solving skill, the ability to adopt. Practically speaking, not just like crunching the numbers. So you need to understand everything, apply the concept to the new situation. No one say, "Arey, net income will be there, use it there." No. So you have to use it sometime. You have to take the advantage of this situation. So this is how they might ask you the question. I don't have any guarantee how they will ask you. So this is what the practically speaking, the statement of owner's equity is over. The notes to financial account is there, but the statement of owner's equity is done. What? Bro, what are you saying? Yeah, that's it. If you understand the format, that's over. Anyway, I will show you the format in an Excel file. Have an Excel file. Okay, what about these two things? We will dive into it. Okay, what is this? The balance sheet. The permanent account. What? Permanent account. What about this? It's a temporary account. Simple. Closed at the year end. Where it will go, practically speaking, it will go for the return earning. Bro, what you're saying? No. Practically speaking, it will go to the statement of owner's equity. In owner's equity, it will go to the retained earnings actually. Anyway, I will show that. That's the reason there it will be retained earning, but that's the reason if you read the book, it will be showing like return earning, but it will go from income to statement of owner's equity. That's how it will jump from one location to another location. Okay, that's the reason. For example, for operating, investing, financing, aggregate, for example, they given this. Even sometimes they may not say. For example, you need to use the dividend from this owner's equity also. Dividend paid or declared. So you need to read the lines whether it is declared or paid. I mean, if it's cash inflow or outflow, only very important thing is cash, whether it's inflow or outflow. And one more thing, non-cash expenses, very important. What are they? The depreciation, the amortization. So these things are very important for the cash flow statements. So as I said, they closed at the year end. And practically speaking, it goes for the balance sheet. Anyway, there is something called accounting standard code for this also. 225. For this also, there is something called accounting standard code 210. So what is called as statement of, what is that? Remember it. Okay, financial position. What about this? It's a performance. So what will you learn from it? Simple. You will learn few things. For example, in this, you will know net worth. In this step, profit or loss. These two factors is very important. There are many questions when a person planning to invest in a company. Think in this way. They will look into the net worth. What's the net worth of the company? Second, whether it is making profit or not. Okay. The third question will be whether they are converting that profit into cash. Yeah, that will be third, but one of the important question. As I said, credit sales 100 billion. Entire sale is the credit sale. There is no money. So what to do? So like that, you can't invest it. Yeah, it's possible, man. There is something called agency problem. They will share the managers will be working in the organization. The board of the members will be say, if you have make 90 million in this year, we will pay you 9 million. So what you done? Yeah, super. Make trade sell. If you look at oh my god. So like that, it's not practically possible. The agency problems is there. It will be, I think it's in part two, I mean section B, if I'm not wrong. Okay, maybe if it's there, I will explain it. No worries. I don't remember it. I mean, I remember the concept. I don't know where it is. So, what is the permanent account? Simple. It accumulates transactions. Example, net block 100 plus 100. Like that, it will add the fixed assets. Anyway, we'll also minus the depreciation. Keep on, it will go on till the end. Unless otherwise you sell the things like the net assets and the equities, assets, and the liabilities. These three things will be there. Um, One of the important thing is point in time. What is that? Simple. Screenshot. So what next? Also known as why are you writing everything? Means there are different names given by different persons, different ideas. So I'm putting together everything. Simple. 31st December. Think bank. 100 million today. If you take after 10 minutes, if you look at the bank, it may become 200 million too. Or after sometimes, oh my God, suddenly it vanished. Okay. I don't know. Suddenly something happened. Okay, no issues. Suddenly, if you look at the bank statement after sometimes it became 300 millions. It keep on changing. So that's the thing. At a momentum, point in time. So snapshot. Right now, if you look at the balance sheet, it will show at the time it have 100 million. That's it. Maybe before that it may have 200. After that also 200. But as on 31st December, what's the value? It show at that time only. That's nothing. But when you come to this, it's like a movie or a video. What? It's for 12 months. So that's the reason I kind of completed those based two financial items and I mean financial statements and making these two comparing. When you compare it, you will understand how it will look like. Okay. There is few items in the balance sheet, something called assets, something called liabilities, something called equity, and there is something called investment by owners. Practically speaking, they are bringing the capital. You can say issue of shares. Or you may say I'm certain service for that you are giving me the shares. I gave a loan, you converted into the equity. Something happened. I'm getting the ownership. In this situation, there is something will happen. What is that? The equity will rise. What? Think in this, I'm bringing a $100,000. The equity value will increase now. So like that, there is something called distribution. What will happen? The equity will decrease. Example, repurchase of equity. Or I am paying dividend. Example, as I said, how it connects, right? Now look into the thing. I am paying the dividend. It will reduce my retained earnings. Retained earnings will be decreased. Okay. So that's the reason I kind of completed the statement of owner's equity. And first I completed statement of cash flow so that how the statement of owner's equities data can be used for statement of cash flows. Make sure you interlink the concepts. Everything is interlinked. So that's the reason I'm showing you everything as much as possible. Maybe sometimes like I borrowed, I have equity. So I exchanged it. In this scenario, I gave the loan to the company. So the company, instead of paying me back, they gave the equity. But in the second scenario, I am the one who borrowed. I have equity. So I borrowed something 100 million. I have equity of 100 million. So I set off. Practically equity gone down. Anything is possible. Sometimes they may have silly questions, easy questions. I can't say it as silly, but it will be simple and very conceptual sometimes. As I said, distribution to owner, anything may happen. Transferring asset. I purchased an asset. So the company want the asset. Okay, no issues. I want to form part of the board. So they gave me the equity shares for me. So I am forming part of the company right now. So I gave the asset to the company. So anything is possible. Maybe sometimes I may render a service, as I said, investment by the owner service, or sometimes the company may render service to me and they are demanding money. I'm holding equity, so for that service, I'm giving them equity. Example, the company sells a car. I purchased a car. I am not. I am saying I won't pay. Okay, instead of paying, take my equity. That's it. Example in this service, think in this maybe I'm a painter. I mean, I'm painting the building, so I painted the building. So what they gave you instead of money, they gave me the equity. Okay, example, I gave the painter, take it as a financial analyst. CFOs. For understanding the service, if I say CFO, I don't know, many of them don't have any idea about the CFOs. What's their role? Even they don't have any idea about CEOs. Yeah, there are a lot of C-suits are there. Even I learned very late. I mean, I came to know about it very lately because I have kind of knowledge in different kinds, but not into these things like, okay. Okay, what about the statement of income? I mean, income. There is something called comprehensive income, which is nothing but net income plus other comprehensive income. If you include these two, you will get a comprehensive income. These are a few line items. You need to memorize it because like sometimes they give and they ask you net income and they will ask you other comprehensive item. And sometimes they may discontinued operations or their example. I'm selling a floppy disk right now and suddenly the obsolete of the technology. So I'm discontinuing the selling the floppy disk. Right now I'm selling like USB drives. Maybe I am selling USB drive. It gone obsolete. So I'm selling the SSD, hard disk, whatever. No, I'm going into the virtual drive. For example, cloud computing. I'm giving the cloud. Anyway, I'm dealing with the same business, storage devices, but the form of the product is changing. For example, the floppy became obsolete. I used USB. USB become obsolete. Hard disk obsolete. Right now, I'm doing the virtual reality. I'm in the cloud like that. So we will be discussing about it. The tax will be netting off something. It will be multiple. I mean, there are a few formats which I will show you no issues. And there is one more thing. It have revenues, expenses, losses, or gains, which you will get a net income. Practically speaking, this is closed to retained earnings. Yeah, the net income. The net income, if you look into the net income. Okay, the statement of owner's equity will have the net income. So that's how the interlinking. As I'm said, I'm kind of explaining the four topics in a one single way. That's the reason I tried multiple ways and realized, okay, the four 2 by 2 box will be great. The matrix. Okay, as I said, it's for 12 months and it's a movie or a video. No, I think I wrote it. Yeah, movie or video. It's a 12 months I forgot to write. Okay, no issues. Anyway, temporary account, it closed to zero. Practically closed to retaining means is something called zero. Anyway, and more important, accrual basis. And there is something called proprietary basis for this. Proprietary theory, which I will be explaining you within few minutes. Okay, actually these are completely known as the financial statements full set. What about notes to account? It's not form part of it, but there is something called general purpose financial reporting. So under that, you need to have the full financial statements and notes to financial statements and supplementary information. Example, for example, I'm showing the balance sheet in this way. Property, plant and equipment, 100 million. Share capital, 100. Current asset, 100. Current liability, 100. However, that will take it this way. Anyway, I don't know why it's went there. Okay, think in this way. There is I have 100 assets. 100 assets are there in this thing. I can't list everything. If I list everything, the balance sheet will become a book. I mean, you can't understand everything. Think in this way, 100 line items. And if you're looking for current asset, after that, somewhere current asset, current liability, it's a top somewhere is property, plant, and equipment. So, what I will do, I will put it in the notes. Note 1, BMW, BMW, Audi. I am explaining the cars, and I am in a Rolls Royce. Everything is there. Okay. The missionary in whatever Dubai, missionary in somewhere. Example, there are a lot of line items are there, different assets are there. So I need to make it in separate. The notes, supplementary information is also same. Supplementary information. Take it in this way. I need to give some explanation to the few items. There is a loan which I borrowed. There is something related to that. So I will put it in the supplemental information. They may ask you, might. They may give you what is general purpose financial reporting. So you need to know what is what. I mean, the full financial statement doesn't include the notes to financial, doesn't include the statement. These two are not form part of full financial statement. The full financial statement is nothing but the balance sheet, income statement, statement of changes in equity, and cash flow statement. I mean, statement of cash flow. So these four are the only things belongs to the full financial statements. Anyway, until now, if you understand something new, if you are learned new, please let me know in the comment. Anyway, you can pause, you can take a break if you wanted. Okay, okay. Right now, there is something called asset liabilities and equities. For that, let me show you something. Okay, this is the balance sheet in a proprietary theory basis. There is a mistake in it. So if you find it out before me explaining to you, you can put it in the comment. What's the mistake in this thing? You can make it the proprietary theory. What's the mistake? Or what's the correct way? What's the correct answer? Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is very important. The order. What? The order. The order in which you are making everything. The presentation. That's the important thing. How you convert, I mean, how long it will take for you to convert these things into cash. The order of liquidity. That's the important thing about the proprietary theory. Example, how quickly, oh, once again, the cash is cash. Data take 30 days. I give 30 days credit. Okay. What about inventory? The inventory is nothing but three items. Don't forget about it. Raw material, work in progress, and finished goods. Not for every entity it will come, but remember, the inventory is nothing but these three components. Think in this hypothetical, this is raw material. So it take hypothetically takes 70 days to convert into fixed goods. So I sold, it will become debtor, practically speaking, accounts receivables. So it take 30 days. After 30 days, it will become cash. So last one, the machinery, the one which helped me to convert the raw material into finished goods. 70 days it takes to convert. So once it convert, it becomes the finished goods, and the finished goods sold, and the finished goods you will get the cash. Okay. Okay. Practically speaking, how quickly it can be converted into cash. First, you can easily convert cash quickly. That's the reason it's first. Second, it take time. Third, it will very time. Fourth, you can't sell a machinery just like that. Even if you plan to sell a machinery, there won't be a person to purchase it. Think in this way, you are having a mill, cotton mill. You are manufacturing, I mean, you are converting the cotton into the yarn. If you look the machinery, it will have almost like a kilometer length. I mean, the entire process, not the single machinery. Unless otherwise you have everything, you can't manufacture it. So just like that, no one can purchase it, because if you need to remove it, it take time. If you need to assemble it, you need technicians. So just like that, you can't sell the machinery. And if you sell the machinery, which is nothing but an revenue generating asset. What is the revenue generating asset? How, practically speaking, it converts raw material into finished goods. Unless otherwise you have finished goods, you can't sell. So that's the reason. If you can't sell, you can't get cash. So that's the reason it's in the fourth place. Anyway, this is the thing, the order of liquidity, or you can say proprietary. Okay, when you come into the liabilities, first person to have the claim will be the creditor first, because he is the one who provided the raw material. Second, the purchase who gave the money to make the machinery, maybe machinery or something, anything. They might have given some loan for some person, maybe for working capital also they might have given. Who knows? We will be discussing in a different topic. Third, outstanding expenses. Example, rent payable. Maybe in this also there you can have a prepaid expenses, but you can't realize it. Anyway, you paid the rent for a month. Just like that. Give me my money. No one will give. Anyway, you would have to use the documents. That's will. And then the balancing figure will be the capital. That's the reason it's a proprietary, I mean, the proprietary theory. So if you found out the mistake, I hope it will be great. The mistake is it's in different it's in different way. Simple. The asset should be in this side, the liability should be in the other side. That's how it should be presented. Then why are you showing this? When someone make a mistake, you will learn. Okay. Anyway, the proprietary theory may be like it not like business entity theory, like it will treat the business and the owner as the same, like something like that. You will look into it. The asset is something else, the economical resource for me. In practice speaking, it belongs to the owner, the balancing figure after you paid for the liabilities. Liabilities is an obligation. The claim for against the outsiders. So what's that example? The bank loan $60,000. They have the claim over the machinery for $60,000. Anyway, you have cash. After setting off, you may have the claim for the machinery. But you are saying, what about the creditors? They have $40,000. So like that, if you think in this way, obligations are there. So you can understand outstanding expense $10,000. Example, I didn't pay you a salary to a person. What will happen? He may not come. So that's the reason it's in third category. But when you make a recalibration like as current liabilities, it will become second place. Why? Current liability, you will have creditors and then outstanding expenses. Then only you have non-current liabilities. That way it will go about bank flow. So in this way, you will understand why which one will come first or second. That's the reason I given this format. Example, if you have prepaid expenses, it will be like, if I'm not wrong, it will be like here, prepaid. You can't realize it. Anyway, you can't realize like a missionary, but above that, you can explain the prepaid expenses. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, next. Yeah, I will be coming for this before that. Okay, this is the balance sheet. If you look, you will understand. I'm not explaining about anything what is what. So take your time and read it. You will understand. Current asset, cash and cash equivalent. Anyway, it is very important. 90 days or 3 months without losing major money. Maybe if you had $10,000, you can easily convert into 99,999 example like that. Not losing major amount, you are gaining the money like that if it satisfies the definition. So you can call it as the cash equivalence. So there is a definition. Sometimes they may ask, as I said, I read the balance sheet. They asked what is current asset. Like if you look at the above our balance sheet, like that's how they gave. There everything is jumbled. I mean, almost it's there in that order. But if you look into the order, what will you say? The current liabilities. You may not say the creditors only the current liabilities. There is something called outstanding also. So that's how. So this is how they gave the question. Like a lengthy question, lot of line items. So they in the same thing, think in this way, cash and cash equivalents are given. Or cash equivalent, they may say not cash, they will say cash equivalent. So cash equivalent is something almost equivalent to cash, but it's not realizable on or before the 90 days or 3 months. If it's satisfied that, you can call it as cash equivalent. There is something called restricted balance. Example, bank demands you need to maintain minimum balance. You may know about it like that. And I have invested in some securities. Same order of realizing the money. So that's the reason trading available for sale. We will be discussing in the investment topic. Account receivable, gross value is there, and we are also having a two methods to calculate based on the sales value and based on the account receivable closing value. We will take the percentage and we will solve it. At the time you will understand what is the AR and allowance for account uncollectible accounts. Then inventories, as I said, you need to understand three things: raw material, work in progress, and finished goods. As I said, prepaid expense, it's a last line item in the current assets because you can't realize it. So it's in the order of realizing. That's the proprietary theory. It's in the order of liquidity. When it comes to the non-current assets, property, plant, and equipment is intangible assets. Next, deferred tax asset, which we will be discussing in the income tax. IT. Okay, IT. And other assets. As I said, there might be notes. some 10. If you go the 10, it will have list maybe 10 to 20 pages also there for sometimes. So that's the reason, if possible, pick a annual statement, give a read. You will get an idea. Okay, next, what is that current liabilities? First, they gave the current assets. You have to understand, first they gave you the current asset, not the liabilities. That's the reason I shown that, and I have spiked it off and I shown how it will be given. Okay, in this area, the current liability is there. Anyway, the format is in this way. What I have given is T format. I mean, horizontal and vertical format is there. So anyway, no issues. Measure, you can, anyway, they are not asking you to prepare the balance sheet. But for your understanding, should know this is what the format. Okay. If you take the current liabilities also, first accounts payable, next payrolls and other benefits, next income tax payable, contract liabilities, other. Maybe if other is which is easily which you need to pay immediately, it will jump. So you need to understand the concept for whom I need to make the payment first. And the same, the debtors, sorry, the debts, the long term, and then contract liabilities, and then other non-current liabilities. 8 or 1 year, 10 year. I mean, it might be like 8 year, 1 year, 0 year might be like that. I think so. The bonds at 8%. Anyway, it's for 3 years. Anyway, the numbers, numericals is not important because it's for actually for other analysis purpose. It's there. So if you look into the stockholders things also, yeah, the value is given authorized and outstanding. If you look into this, the shares authorized value is different and the share issued value is different. Okay, I think you can see the value. Look, the 6. I mean, practically speaking, they never utilized it. Anyway, if you look into year 3, year 2 are there. Anyway, they haven't utilized the authorized value. So the presentation is very important. Understand what is the authorized value. The value which beyond that you can't issue the shares. Example, they are planning to issue. I don't know why it's jumping. I think it's in the box. That's the reason I can't issue this value. Example, why it's more than the authorized value. 5.6 million is the value. Then paid in capital. Practically speaking, everything is showed in the par. Everything is showed in the par value. Okay, understand. The above par will be shown in the paid in capital, and then retained earning, total stockholders equity. I think, yeah, I need to explain it afterwards. Yeah. Okay, let me show you the stockholders equity in a different way. There is something called statement of changes in owner's equity or statement of owner's equity. I don't know whether it's visible. I think it's not visible. Let me share you this too. Yeah, this is the statement of changes in stockholders equity. If you look the format, memorize it or understand the logic, it's up to you. Simple. Preferred stock, common stock, additional paid in capital, retained earnings, accumulated other comprehensive item, total stakeholder things. If you remember the same thing from the thing, first preference, next common stock, next paid in capital, retained earnings, total stockholders equity. Anyway, the other the other I mean accumulated other comprehensive income will be included in the paid retained earning if I'm not wrong. Anyway, if you look into this, the balance on the year 1, the net income. Example, the balance is this. For year 2, I got 3,689 in thousands, and then I paid the dividends. Practically, as I said, it will decrease the equity, the distribution to the owners. Decreases equity, distribution to owners. And if you look into the stock, it's a common stock. So it increases investment by owners. So understand these two things, sometimes they make you it and they say it's not included in the income statement. How come it will come in the income statement? I don't know why they are including that. Anyway, they use these things in the exam also sometimes. They may confuse you. These two things will be the two line items in the preparing the income statement. What you need to prepare income statement? Yeah. Sometimes they will give some details and they will ask you to prepare the net income, or they will give the net income value and they will ask what's the, I mean, after applying the tax and the things, you will understand in the income statement. I will explain it. Okay, for second year, the same closing balance will become opening balance for next year. And then the net income, the dividend, and then they issued stocks. So these things become this value. Example, if you look into the 100, the 1685, okay, sorry, I think it's 1670, 1670, 6250, yeah, 6250. I think I'm jumping from there to there. Okay, sorry, okay, 100, 165, 620, 100, 165, or 620, 784, 784. So almost this is what the statement of changes in equity. So understand. So it's not a separate thing, but but it will be shown separately for better understanding. The balance will be go through the balance sheet. Okay, this is how it's linked. Anyway, I explained the statement of changes in equity also. The balance sheet also almost completed. If I'm not wrong, yeah, there is something. The basics, I mean the benefits. Mm. Okay, simple. The assets are recorded. The historical value more. What is what? Simple. I purchased a plant prop. I mean land. Think in this in 1980s for $100 hypothetically. So right now, what's the value? 100 million. I can't recognize the 100 million. You need to record it in the present value. Sorry, like the purchased value. How much you paid for the asset. That's the thing. Anyway, if it's a depreciable asset, it will be depreciated, amortized, or as the case may be. Okay, what about the current replacement value? Practically speaking, if it's possible to replace it, you will use the current replacement value for inventory. Certain inventory is not everything. And the current market value. There are few things will be recorded in the current market value. For example, take it marketable securities, asset held for at reduced values, options, obligations, short sales. Let's just give a read. Not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, which you will be understanding in the investment topics, why it will be different and all everything. But try to understand the thing why we are recording at the current market value because of conservatism principles and like that. Think in this way, for the company is planning to install, I mean, they liquidate today, what will you do? Like that. And NRV, practically speaking, the inventories will be valued at the NRV values. Sometimes settlement value, on what value the short-term receivables you need to liabilities. For example, suddenly the trade payables, they will say, they said like, you need not to pay 5%, I will give discount. So you will record today at this value and you are planning to pay it tomorrow. Okay, present value. For example, this thing, okay, for it, I need to explain you some example is there. Anyway, I hope you know about the time value of money, or else I can't do anything because one of the prerequisite in this thing is like you need to know about the how to prepare the balance sheet and everything. And one of the requirement of the thing is time value of money also. So any of for this question, I will be explaining example $10,000 you need to pay after 3 years. Discount rate is 8%. So 3 years after, so what will you do? You will calculate the present value, today's value, divided by 1.08 whole power 3. You will get approximately 7938. So in the books of accounts, practically speaking, in the balance sheet, you will record it in the value of $7938 today. So after 3 years, you will get this money. So today, what's the value? You will need to record it in this value. Anyway, this also the topics which is in depth in the topics. I don't know which area. I'm not that good with the names, so that's the reason the bonds redemptions are there. In part two, it will be there like redeemable bonds, irredeemable bonds. I think there will be like how will you settle these things? Example, for example, NPV, IRR calculations, discounted payback periods. Anyway, the normal payback period doesn't have anything. These things have the time value of money concept. Anyway, I think you know the time value of money concept, But this is how the assets or liabilities are measured using the present value of the future cash flow measurement basis. Okay. Then liquidation value, unless otherwise you are planning to liquidate the company, you can't use it. Example, I'm planning to liquidate the company. Right now, I can value the asset at the 100 million. Then I'm planning to liquidate, planning to sell everything. So that's the reason the assets of the companies are liquidated, planning to do. So that's the thing, how it will be measured for financial statement items. Okay, and where is the demerits and the merits? Okay, this is the current assets and non-current assets. Just to give a read, take a screenshot, put it in pause and give a read. As I said, the 90 days, the criteria is here. For your understanding, less than 90 days. There is a two-line definition. If you want to look into the book, it will be available in the book. Damn sure whatever the book you are using, it will be available. The current liability is also there, non-current liability is also there. But there is something, what is current and non-current? Okay, before that, I want to ask you something. How you classify asset and liabilities? Hari, you explained everything, yeah? Right now, you are asking what is asset and what is liability. Okay, let me ask you a question. Goodwill. Can I recognize it if it's internally generated? Internal goodwill. Okay, let me answer it with the definition of asset. Okay, simple. I am making a time travel, past, present, and future. Think in this way. There is a past transaction. Simple. I purchased a machinery, property, plant, and equipment worth of $100,000. I've made a payment, paid. Present. I have a title deed. I'm the owner. I own it. The plant and machinery belongs to me. Future. Economic benefit. Inflow. Practically speaking, it's inflow. Sorry, I'm kind of writing in a slanting way. Okay. Future economic benefits. Example, the raw material converted into finished goods. $10 worth of raw material converted into $100. How I done using machinery? What I done? Example, wood is there, lead is there, glue is there, labor is there, the machinery is there. By combining everything, I made a pencil. So the anyway, don't ask how it's possible. $10, $100. Think in this way, a box. Okay, don't use a logic in this. Just for example, I took wood, lead, and glue in the last minute. So the labor. So that's the reason you can take $1 and $10. Don't ask me. Oh, one pencil is $1. I mean, $10 is possible. Don't ask me for understanding. Anyway, without machinery, you can't manufacture the pencil. Maybe at the same speed. Example, in a year with the machinery, you can manufacture 1 million pencil. Without machinery, you can't make. You hardly make 10,000 units. Think in this way, what is the drastic change? That's the future economic benefit. Like that. Okay, for understanding, I'm saying 1 million pencil, 10,000 pencil. Okay. As the same past, I purchased from creditor. What I made a transaction. What transaction purchase? What you purchase? Raw material. Okay, super. Right now, present obligation is there. Liabilities. Liabilities. Example, I'm purchasing raw material from the creditor. Purchase. There is a past transaction. Current obligation. Economic outflow. I need to pay. Think in this way, purchased for 1 million. I'm obligated to pay 1 million. So I will pay 1 million. Okay. Anyway, that's the thing, like liabilities. So what about equity? The balancing figure is equity. As I said, what are the things in the statement of changes in equity or statement of owner's equity or statement of shareholders equity, stockholders equity, whatever the name. Make sure you remember the name for each and every items. Why? They may use some other names. That's the reason I used everything. Example, statement of financial positions, balance sheet. For example, income statement, statement of comprehensive income, which is nothing but income plus other comprehensive income. Sometimes they include the discontinued business. There are criteria for how to measure the discontinued business. Okay, example, as I said, I'm selling floppy disk. The product reached the maturity line. Practically speaking, it did. Anyway, there are used in the floppy disk. Example, I purchased a jet, fighter jet. For designation and for everything, you need to use the flop disk. You may say you can replace it now, thinking this the fighter jet life is 100 years. If you want a replacement, the replacement cost is high. Who will purchase? Another country purchase. So think in this that way how the organization really works. For example, right now what I explained is product life cycle. Product life cycle is something called a curve. You will introduce, then you will grow, then you will reach maturity, and then you will decline. Okay, right now this is something in this way. Right now I realized maturity period. So discontinued. What floppy? Right now, what are you planning to do? New product. I'm introducing, I'm growing, and then it will reach maturity. I will jump to new product. That's it. You need to know how when to apply. Why continue, discontinue? Use the product life cycle. Don't think Nokia. They didn't use the product life cycle. They never thought they are mature. Why? I have more than 70% of the market share. How a touch screen or Android will compete with me? I have 70% market. Now there is no market. Anyway, they are manufacturing something, but not related to the mobile phones. I mean, related to mobile phones, not the mobile phones. Some routers are there, some other things are there building. But as a mobile phone, they lost the market. They didn't do the product life cycle. Maybe the Kodak, there is a company which sells the film rolls, the cameras. Whatever they invented the digital camera, but they thought if I sell this, my existing product will have a damage, so they didn't sell. They invented first, but they didn't put it in the market. Think in this way: if they have would have done the same thing in the market at the time of maturity, it would have new product. It have been more market share than others. Yeah, it's a trusted brand, so no one will look for some old. I mean, new companies like they have a trust for the Kotak, but they themselves killed. Example, there is something called Food Panda. Same first mover advantage. No, they didn't add. So they made a lot of mistakes. Swiggy learned. Right now, Swiggy is making a $1 million business. Yes, Zomato. Yeah, Uber came and it went off. Okay, that's it. Okay, I think I explained major things about the balance sheet. Did I miss it anything? I have no idea about it. I explained everything. Net worth explained the profit and loss related to the thing. Yeah, the asset and the liabilities, the strength of the companies. Yeah, like if you are like what will the investor will look into, the users will be looking into. Yeah, the current versus non-current I have left it, and the users. Yeah, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Anyway, I'm kind of linking the topics in a different way. So it may sound different, but everything is within the book. So don't think, hurry, explain something. Okay, well, who are the users? There are two classifications. Yeah, they may ask the questions. Even if you look into the support package, there's a question. Internal users and external users. Direct and indirect. Sorry, direct and indirect. The direct won't contribute capital, but they assist in the direct users to contribute. They assist, they contribute. Example, investor brings the money. Potential investor, they may invest in the company. Employee, he used his skill to contribute something. Customer, they buy, they contribute one way or another. The lender, they give the money. The management that runs, the manager who take care of the operations. The supplier who gives the raw material. Creditor from whom I need to purchase. Anyway, the like suppliers and creditor more or less same. Anyway, sometimes they may differ. That's the reason I gave everything. For example, the finance analyst thinking this, I am a doctor. I don't have any idea where to invest. I have money. I will approach analyst. They will say invest. So I will become an investor. Regulatory bodies on stock exchange, for example, SEC. They will regulate everything. They are the indirect user. They give confidence to the users how they will conduct. They have they, for example, quarterly returns you need to submit in the it's a criteria given by the stock market, and it has to be audited by the auditor. For example, CPAs will audit, or CA in India, whoever the case maybe, they will audit. They will sign, and they will give some number for authentication. We done audit. They will give opinion. Okay, for in-depth, refer CPA. Okay. Anyway, there is something called internal users who are known as the managers, board of director, employees. Anyway, each have different level of access. Example, manager is production department. He can have access to the production budget. This is the question, if I'm not wrong, in the books of accounts. Example, who will have the less interest in the financial statement? I'm a production manager. Why I need the financial statement? I need the production budget. I'm a board of director. I need internal documents. I don't need the financial statements. Less interest. I mean, I don't need it. I will look into the what happening today. There will be something happening today. I will have access to it. I don't need the balance sheet or income statement. But when it comes to the external users, for investors, current investor or potential investor, lenders, investment analysts, advisors, financial analysts, trading agencies, creditors, suppliers, regulators. Suppliers, what happened? Think in this way of liquidation. I'm the supplier. 80% of my supply goes to you. You are my bigger buyer. Suddenly you said, I'm closing the business. What will happen to my business? It will happen impact. Lender, I gave you 100 million. You are saying I'm liquidating the company. So it have the impact on me. So that's the reason, direct impact. And they are external users. Why they will look? Will they pay me my money back or not? What's the debt equity ratio? They will look into every sort of things from the balance sheets and income statements. Cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, the financial statements. Okay, the notes to accounts will give lot of information for those peoples. For example, a company's material and the going concern is no more. Will you invest? Okay, there is fundamental accounting principles are there. They may ask you, as I said, they may ask you journal entries also sometimes. Hey, there is no journal entries. Prerequisites. So you need to know the journal entries. It won't be like that complicated. There is a question like 3 months, 9 months. It ends now. You need to renew it. Renew it. Insurance policy. How will you account these things? For example, for 9 months, you need to do it for the P&L. You have to charge it for this year. For balance, you need to do it in the balance sheet as outstanding. For these 3 months also, there will be settlement. There will be some outstandings. You need to settle against that. Like that, there are questions are there. So you need to know about the journal entries. Practically speaking, I explained a lot of things. It took almost 1 hour to explain the balance sheet and statement of changes in equity. Anyway, notes to accounts, notes to financial statement, I need to explain a little bit more. I think so I will explain it. Did I miss anything? Yeah, there is something which is very important, I think so, but I don't know, like where I left it. Let me one second. Yeah, this is the that's the reason I always put it in this way. Okay. Okay, what is current, what is non-current? As I said, I explained the asset and liabilities, the past, present, and futures. So what is operating cycle? Okay, simple operating cycle. You will learn in depth in part 2. Right now, if you need to classify something as current, which is nothing but 12 months or operating cycle, which are longer. What is that? Simple. I'm a manufacturing a ship. I'm building a ship. If you pay me money, I will make a ship. Think in this way. I need 36 months, hypothetically. It may be longer depending upon the size of the ship. So what is my current classification? If it's for this, my current is 36 months. If it falls in the 36 months criteria, I will classify it current asset. So, okay, think in this way. it's less than 12. The operating cycle is less than 12. For example, my operating cycle is 9 months. So follow 1 year rule. 12 months, take 12 months. First scenario, 12 months or 9 months is the operating cycle. So 12 months is the criteria for the current assets or current liabilities. Second, no operating cycle. I mean, no defined cycle and all. Example, my wholesaler. So take 12 months. The third one is the operating cycle is 36 months is the operating cycle or 12 months, whichever is longer, 36 months. So current asset or current liabilities, which is less than or equal to 36 months will be classified as current asset or current liability. So you have to understand this thing. Maybe they might have asked you a question. They may say the company's manufacturing is ship or constructing the house or real estates or something or aeroplanes. It will take time, man. Even there is a organization, as I said, the cotton to yarn, the machinery, it will take 3 to 4 years to manufacture. You need to pay 80 to 90% amount right now. Yeah, at the time of installation, they will get the balance 20%. Or in the middle, they have some contracts. So at the time, it will have a okay, simple. The asset or liabilities, asset realized or liability settled within 12 months. The asset realized or liability settled within 12 months are treated as current mark. Simple, that's it. Current asset or current liabilities. At the same time, the same thing I have explained in this different way. Example, if it's expected to settle in the operating cycle or current example, 36-month criteria taken. Hmm. Anyway, I need to put it, the asset also I should have mentioned. Anyway, okay. The asset is classified as current if it is expected to be realized. Okay, this is the normal operating cycle or expected to within 12 months, whichever is higher. So other than current, what you call non-current, that's it. Sometimes they say the operating cycle of the company is 24 months. Thinking the operating cycle is 24 months. There is an investment with a realization period of 15 months. Will it go to current asset or non-current asset? You have to decide. Basically, every organization will make the thing in the 12 months criteria. But when you think in this, the ship manufacturing or constructions or real estate, you will understand. I think I explained quite a lot of things for you to understand. Anyway, I forgot something. Anyway, I got it. Okay, benefits. The balance sheet benefits. Financial position. How much asset, how much liability, how much equity. Am I liquid or not? Am I solvent or not? Think in this way, solvency. Am I capable of meeting the long-term liabilities? Helps in forecasting cash flow. Example, based on my 3 years expense, based on my 3 years balance sheets, and you can predict what will be the cash flow. Think in this way, it's a solidly increasing 10% year by year. So you can predict fourth year, fifth year also. Next 2 years, example, if you take past three data and capital structure analysis, example, debt equity ratio, how much debt and okay, it will help in the capital structure analysis. Anyway, I'm kind of briefly explaining about and helps the investor and creditors. Example, investor, do I need to buy or to sell or hold, whatever. Okay, that's the benefit. What's the limitation? They do not show the true value of the company. Think I have a buy a unbelievable person who has skills. Example, the person who invented the face unlock. Can you measure it? No. Example, my employees. Many value assets are omitted. Same. I can't value it. I can't mention it because omitted. Often reported under historical cost. As I said, my asset, the land purchased for $100. Right now it's 100 million. I can't recognize it in the books of account. Understand the asset definition. Past transaction $100. So I can't record it in the 100 million because there is no past transaction for 100 million. So it's a limitation, but you have to understand how the asset definition plays an important role in this. And a heavy use of estimation. Think in this way, my property, plant, and equipment. I estimated the life 10 years. Okay, I don't know where it's going. Yeah, it's going somewhere. Anyway, I don't know why it's going. Anyway, I hope you understand how the heavy estimations are there. The property, plant, and equipment. The liabilities may not reflect the current market value, and a book value may differ from the economical value. Sometimes, if you look into the economical value of the something, it may have a different value. I think everything is going upward. I don't know what happened. Anyway, kind of in the last minute I placed it, so that's the reason it may have some jumping. Think in this way: land, take this way. Right now, 100 million. Economical value, book value this, economical value this. You can't mention unless otherwise you are planning to liquidate. That's the thing, measurement in which we learned. Anyway, I completed two topics. I don't know how long it will took. I took a lot of time. Anyway, if you learned new topics, please let me know in the comment. Anyway, and let me know where are you from if you are watched till the end. I hope you watched it till the end. Relax and be calm. Everything will be come to you like a law of attraction. And I want you to comment something. I pause CMA. Comment. I want some comments. One. I pause CMA. Type it. The law of attraction. Second, if possible, where are you from? Third, new learning. What you learned in this thing. Why? Anyway, before exam also you learn. Hey, I typed something. So that's the reason. And fourth, suggestions, any if any. And if I missed anything, just let me know. I will try to add it in some other videos. Okay. Past, present, and future. I hope I explained everything. The basics. I think you can. Almost I explained about everything. I need to explain the income statement and the notes to financial statement, and then I will need to take another session for the statement of cash flow. As I said, it's a lengthy topic, but it's not a stupid thing because it explains the baseline for everything. I almost interlinked everything as much as possible. I never touched any difficult topics. For example, I can take topics from the ratio analysis, but I can't explain new for part one. Anyway, for example, if you understand the balance sheet and income statement, if I'm taking something from the balance sheet for I will take the actual from the income statement. Example, I paid some turnover sales. I will take 12 million. Example, I'm taking total asset. I will take average value. Example, the opening balance 10 million, closing balance 20 million. I will take the average. Why? This is for 12 months. This is point in time. Simple. It's a video. That's not a audio. It's a point in time. So you will understand. That's some point in time, not 365 days. It doesn't represent 65 days or 12 months. It represents one point, small point. So that's the reason we take 1 and 31 December. Jan 1, 31st December. Okay. Anyway, you can take quarterly one. Yeah, practically speaking, you need to upload it in the organization website as the investor details. So that's the reason you can take the quarterlies as an average also. Yeah, data are available. But when you are working in an organization, you will be have access to the softwares. So you can take a daily average also. 365 balance divided by 365. Yeah, possible. Anyway, it will have a different results. If you take an average, if you take average of 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, or day or month, whatever the case may be. So I hope you understand the balance sheet and the statement of changes in equity. And I also gave the glimpse of the income statement. there is quite few things like the discontinued operation, continued operations are there. That's I need to explain about it. Balance and all single step statement, multi-step statements are there. It may take hardly sometimes. I have text. I can't write everything for income statements, so I have textbook. So I will show it. Anyway, remember it. The general purpose financial reporting have the full set of the financial statements plus notes to financial statement plus supplementary informations. Anyway, if I have said anything wrong, please confirm with the book. That's the reason I said you the simple burger revision planning or sandwich, whatever the thing. Anyway, read the book, watch the videos, read the book, solve the MCQs, and read the book. Maintain the running notes. I hope you maintain the running notes. Why? Last minute revision, you need something to revise. So that's the reason I said maintain the notes. I hope I explained everything. Anyway, I took silly examples so that I don't make the things complicated. Anyway, we're preparing for the exams. So that's the reason. 1 plus 1, 11 plus 11. So I think 11 plus 11, 22. Yeah, 11 plus 11, 12. Gee, sir, 22. Okay, ma. All the best for your exam. Anyway, I'm planning to cover 13 topics. Anyway, I'm still in the topic one. But once I complete the topic one, everything will become easy. As I said, how to recognize. Almost I gave every baseline for everything. Example, the revenue recognitions. We need to discuss how to recognize the revenue. Simple. When I deliver the product, when the risk is transferred. Okay. All the best for your exams. Anyway, let me know about it. Hope you learned something. I hope helped you. I helped for your exam. Anyway, if you like it, share it for someone. Maybe I expect you to comment a few things. Okay, bye. Have a nice day. Take a rest. As and one of the important thing, which I forgot to mention, 12 hours of sleep before 4 days of exams. Till that, take 12 hours. Maybe before, like if you are having exam on some 15th or something, until 11th, sleep for 12 hours. Why? Practically speaking, you are using your brain. That's the reason how as much as possible take rest. And night sleeping is very important. Don't skip the night sleep because the brain will function more in the morning and the exam will happen in the day. So don't sleep in the daytime. Maybe it's a morning or afternoon, whatever the case maybe, don't sleep because if it's afternoon, you need to revise in the morning. If it's in the morning, you need to take the nap or else you can't be sleepy in the exam hall. So that's the reason I'm recommending you to take 12 hours nap. Okay, bye. Literally, I explained the concept for 1 hour and explained some exam and these things for half an hour. I think for further, I won't explain anything related to the exams and this stuffs. And have a rest. And if you are having any issues, please make sure you plan accordingly. Take advantage of it. The exam is not a strategic thing. Think in this way. There is a board. I hope you have seen this thing like the dot board. It's there. You have to practice to put the arrows. Okay. So as the same exam is still there. If you practice perfectly, you can hit the bullseye. No, I will do on the same exam day itself. Can't think in this way. I enrolled myself in a weightlifting competition for 100 kgs. Till date, I never lifted 10 kgs also. Okay, tomorrow I need to lift. No, today I will practice. That's it. What will happen? Even without practice, if I went and tried to lift it, then that's it. Even if I lift it, I can't control it. That's it. My backbone, vertebra, everything gone. The doctor will say, rest in bed, ma. I will charge you a fees. So like that. So make sure you prepared for the exam. Thinking this a bodybuilder, he will go to the gym daily, not on the last minute, not on the last day. Unless otherwise you are a regular bodybuilder and you are being like that. Okay, think why I'm taking the bodybuilder means it's not possible. Just in a couple of days you can't build a muscles. It will take a long term. As the same the study for any subject, it will take time. If you think it comes in short term, don't think it will be profitable for you. Okay. Anyway, I explained a lot of things in a lot of manner for you to understand. So the balance sheet have the net worth and the income statement will the profit or loss. So these two questions are very important. And the third important question is whether you converted that profit into the cash. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.